Welcome to the April 21st, 2026 edition, the prediction market potpourri edition of my vlog. We have a lot to get through, so let's just dive in. First of all, I learned yesterday that hemp oil is legal in the UAE. I did not know that. And as I'm cleaning out Cecile's apartment, I found where she had some hemp CBD. No idea. I've never used it. Have no idea if it does any good. And I know it's legal because Cecile didn't buy anything illegal. Even though she got deported from this country, she didn't do anything illegal. She's much more above board, honorable than I ever will be. I want to wish a happy birthday to Conan O'Brien. I dearly love this man. When I was teaching in the US, I appreciated the fact that my students often gave me at least one or two per class would say, it's like Conan O'Brien is teaching our class. And they meant that as a compliment. It was never said as an insult. They made the point that I made the class interesting and fun enough that they actually wanted to come to class. That is a huge compliment for anybody in education. So I wish you well. And by the way, the picture you're seeing here is from a movie he did this past year called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And find a way to watch it. If you can't find a way to watch it, find a way to me and I'll send the movie to you. It is absolutely hilarious. He should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor. It's a Rose Byrne. She got the nomination for Best Actress. She deserved to win. She didn't win, but yeah, it's a great movie. Dark comedy, very dark comedy. Tim Cook announced his resignation yesterday, and since now more people watch my vlog than actually see my posts on Facebook, I'm just going to read what I posted on Facebook that nobody saw yesterday. As a former hero who proved to be Uncle Tom, I teach supply chain management, and Tim Cook rewrote the book on the topic. When he said he supported privacy, he said it as a closeted gay man growing up in rural Alabama in the 1980s. If he had retired 2 years ago, his legacy would have been that of God status. His wisdom took Apple from near bankruptcy to first company to $1 trillion market cap, then $2 trillion market cap, then $3 trillion market cap. They're now over 4 trillion, but Nvidia beat them to 4 trillion. No other CEO has a legacy he has. Unfortunately, he chose to suck Cheeto dick by attending the Jeff Bezos funded Melania documentary on the same day Alex Peretti was assassinated. Everything I loved about Apple died on the streets of Minneapolis that day. I may or may not do something more on Tim Cook in the future, but I'm my to say nobody in my history has gone from hero to zero more than Tim Cook. I would rather piss on him than talk to him. That's how much I dislike this man. Speaking of people I don't like, Kash Patel, who I spoke about before, is now suing the Atlantic. And the 19-page document that they submitted to the court is lit. And I mean lit in terms of like it had to be the lawyers who wrote this brief, they had to be on something when they wrote it. I don't know if it was marijuana or if it was alcohol, whatever. They dedicated 2 whole pages to claiming that Kash Patel has a 12-inch dick. It's so unbelievable. Um, but as somebody who, I do respect the law in the United States, and the discovery for this is going to be so amazing. You know, the Atlantic to say that Kash Patel is going to lose this is an understatement. The discovery, because now people have to go under oath and testify. So who is Kash Patel going to bring to light? That's who's he going to call to the witness stands to say, no, he's really not so drunk that we had to use a battering ram to get into his hotel room. Who is he going to call to refute that? Anyhow, oh, reading the whole 19 pages, I was laughing the entire time. It was awesome. I highly recommend it. which a friend then sent this meme to me. So we're calling these guys the liquor cabinet for Trump, which is good. I would add to that the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who a couple days ago referred to the Strait of Hormuz as the Strait of Vermouth. You don't have to know Sigmund Freud to know that's a Freudian slip. Yeah. Speaking of Republicans who are corrupt, Ashley Hinson has accepted cash donations from people who were part of a 2019 sex trafficking sting. That wasn't a tongue tire. You should have been okay with that, Steve. Um, So not surprised. For those who are not from Iowa, Ashley is going to be the Republican candidate for the Iowa Senate. She's going to go up against either Josh Turek or Zach Walz from my side. But nothing about this surprises me. Yeah. Speaking of Iowa GOP and the things that they are doing that are questionable at best, they are propping up this independent candidate. And uh, again, nobody's reading my Facebook post, so I'll just read what I wrote there and you can take it for what you will. His independent path sounds like a Democratic light, not one issue cited where he disagrees with Orthodox Republicans. His naive, can't we all get along, is a 2006 message. If he's not an Iowa GOP plant, then he's simply a useful idiot or working on their behalf. So I, this guy, when he first announced a couple days ago, he didn't have a website. He had nothing. So now he has to collect 17,000 signatures, which I'm sure the GOP will be happy to help him fund to get to the 17,000 signatures because all they're trying to do is siphon some votes away so that the Democrat running in Congressional District 2 lowers their chance of winning to give the Republican a chance to win. It's my side's done it too. We did it in Michigan a couple years back. We do it too. So I'm not claiming that Democrats are pure on this, but this guy is a useful idiot. Someone in his family needs to shake him and make him wake up. So there is something called the gray market. Years ago, the gray market is different than the black market. The gray market is where you buy something that's legal and then you resell it when it's legal. Okay. This is why I was shocked that Cecile got sent home. She bought beer, which was legal, and then after midnight, when the liquor stores are all closed, she resold some of that beer to laborers who had no other access to beer when they get off work at midnight. And she made a tiny profit from it. For that service, she got sent home. To me, that's gray market. But here, apparently, it's enough to get her sent home. I have never engaged in the gray market, even when I know it can work. Well, actually, I can't say that. I have taken loads of electronics to Nepal because Nepal has a 100% tax on electronics. So when I go to Nepal, I take extra tablets, extra phones. I do everything I can to take electronics to Nepal just because it's so expensive there. I give them away to my friends in Nepal. It's what I've done for more than a decade. It's just it seems like the right thing to do. But I'm not reselling, so it's not really gray market, it's a gift. Um, but this guy, so since I've become a Facebook whore, I'm getting inundated by people sending me friend requests and so forth. Usually it's women with fake tits. I don't know why I get that at least once a day. I get a huge, buxom woman sending me, "You want to be my friend? You want to share my information?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, delete, delete, delete." Anyhow, this guy reached out to me and we had a conversation. He established the fact that he's from Indonesia, and then just so to read this to you, it's worth reading. He wrote, "Thank you," in parentheses, Steve Kranz. "Just to leave a message, I will definitely reply even if it takes a long time because I am busy in the real world." I didn't reply. I let it go. And that was a message from April 10th. So today he sent me a message saying, Because I had asked him, "Are we connected on LinkedIn?" Because I was just like, "I don't know who you are. Who are you?" And he wrote, "Of course not. I want to see people's reaction by exchanging information. I'm very curious about the possibility of importing smartphones from Japan. We don't have such goods in Indonesia." To which I responded, "Not sure what you're doing, so I'll simply wish you well. Bye." So, I mean, it is totally legal for me to buy smartphones here in the UAE and to ship them to Indonesia. There's nothing illegal about it. But if I'm going to do something gray market and shady, I'm going to wait until I'm back in the United States because in the United States, we do not have a real Department of Justice. Which brings me to the last topic, which is the potpourri that I wanted to talk about. And now I can't find my smartphone that I want to do this last topic. Um, uh, the prediction market that I talked about in the past, again, this I made a long post that got not even one look on Facebook. So again, I'm sharing this with you here because nobody saw it on Facebook. Okay. In 1992, I was in grad school at the Tippie College of Business at the University of Iowa, where they invented prediction markets. It's an Iowa invention. We were the first. I won something less than $50 betting on the outcome of the races of that election. In today's world, prediction markets are predicting events like when will the supreme leader of Iran die? How many times will Elon Musk tweet? In February, the prediction market had less than 1% that Donald Trump would go to war with Iran. I urged my friends to take that bet, but nobody did. The payout would have been 16 times the payout. It should have been 99 times the payout, but they ended the auction because they realized that it was bad publicity. So they ended the auction before they had to do the payout. So anyhow, but again, had somebody followed, I sent this message to my best male friends from high school and said, any of you put $100 down on this. I will pay you back when I'm back in the US. Just take it. None of them did. Had they done it, they'd have received $1,600. Hmm. In last week tonight with John Oliver, so on Sunday night, John Oliver did a whole show about this. It's on YouTube. You can look it up. You should look it up. Particularly if you have a male son, particularly if you have a male son, period, because this is what males under the age of 25 are incredibly addicted to. More than porn. That says a lot. Okay, anyhow. And last week tonight, John Oliver says that 90% of the betting is on sports. And the sport I follow closest is tennis. I am a huge Carlos Alcaraz fan. And when he was playing in the Australian Open, he was ahead by enough that it was very clear he was going to win. No question about it. He was, he's a 22-year-old stud against a 38-year-old Novak Djokovic, who, by many arguments, is the greatest of all time. I'd argue that, but anyhow, but the 38-year-old was out of gas. It was clear Carlos was going to win. Had somebody made a bet there, they would have made a 30% return in less than 30 minutes. So at the moment it was 100% clear Carlos is going to win. Place the bet, you get a 30% return in 30 minutes. That's pretty awesome. Fast forward to a week ago, he was playing in the Monte Carlo tournament. In the Monte Carlo tournament, he's playing number two, Yannick Sinner. The two of them are a great rivalry. Every match is wonderful to watch. I'm watching it while also watching Polymarket. I have two screens going. Polymarket on one screen, watching the match on the other. Both players were on serve. And then Sinner won the first set on a three best of three. He won the first set in the tiebreaker set. So anyhow, so first set to Sinner. In the second set, he broke Carlos early on. That's huge. When no one's getting broken, you break your player, you break your opponent. That's huge. But anyhow, I wouldn't have bet at that point. When he broke Carlos a second time, it's match over. Sinner's going to win. So as much as I love Carlos, if I had a Poly Market account, I would have absolutely put it all on Sinner. And anybody who did that made a 25% return in 15 minutes. That's pretty awesome. So, yeah, I, is there anything else I want to say about this? Yeah, you know, without a doubt, this is absolutely corrupt as fuck because Sinner and Alcaraz, they're not, Alcaraz didn't throw the match, whatever, but there are a whole lot of reasons for players of other games to throw things or to miss a free throw on purpose or whatever, just to have their friends make a payout. It should be banned or it should be regulated in some way. There should be some way. There's everything about this just seems wrong. Now, I still believe in prediction markets. Again, I participated all the way back in 1992. It is healthy to have the way the crowd wisdom coming in. It's healthy, but something that needs not only some regulation, but also if you manipulate this, you go to jail. That'd be very handy. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen because Trump's sons are investors in both Kalshi and Polymarket. If that surprises you, then you are just too stupid to be watching this video. Where I want to close is the fact that, again, I love my students in the US to say, this guy reminds me of Conan O'Brien. I didn't get that comment in the UAE until the pandemic. And during the pandemic, when my students were sitting at home, bored as fuck, and I mentioned Conan O'Brien several times, and so my students started watching Conan and became fans of Team Coco that I held open office hours. And so I would get like 50 students to show up at office hours, which never happened when things are face to face. Nobody ever came to my office hours face to face, but they were literally just bored at home. And so they'd come to my office hours, not with any questions about what's going on in class. Really, it was, so tell me what other thing we should look up from Conan O'Brien. That's what they were asking me. That's what they wanted to know. And so yeah, Conan, you owe me. I brought dozens of fans to you from the UAE. So where's my royalty check? I hope you're all well. See you tomorrow.